the debate for the United States Senate. On the eve of a presidential election, the year is 1858. An election that may as well decide the history of the Union. Please join us for the historic occasion as me and Sir Abraham Lincoln will host the debate with me, Judge Frederick Douglass. We have met in our final debate here at Newtown Square, Illinois, for what has been the last of 7 debates in the year of 1858. Though I may have firm disagreements with the man, we have come to have a political discourse the world has never seen. The format of the debate will start with a speech by Mr. Lincoln, a speech then by myself, as well as time for a response, and then a rejoinder by the kind gentleman. And to take the floor first, Sir Abraham Lincoln.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the month of May 1856, the elements of the state of Illinois, who have since consolidated into the Republican Party, assembled and adopted a platform. In June of 1858, they reassembled in Springfield and gave me the honor, if it so be, and I esteem it as such, to be their candidate for the United States Senate. Now we have in this nation this element of domestic slavery. It is, by all accounts, a disturbing element. The opinion of all great men who have ever made opinion on the matter have regarded it as a dangerous element. Now, where there is controversy, there must necessarily be a difference of opinion. And I submit that the difference of opinion is none other than the difference between men who say slavery is wrong and the men who say it is not. We, the Republicans, say it is wrong. We say it is a moral wrong, a social wrong, and a political wrong. We say it is a wrong not only for the people and in the states where it exists, but in its very tendency, which extends to the whole nation. We believe, since it is wrong, in a special course of action. This course of action in dealing with it will deal with it through the prevention of its spread. The prevention of this spread will lay the groundwork for a promise of its disappearance in the future. Now we are gathered here today to listen to myself and Judge Douglas about the fate of this union and the free states and the slave states. Now, we believe, since slavery is wrong, that although we do not wish for its spread, we are by no means abdicating the equality of both white and black men. I do not have prejudice against our Southern brethren. They do in their situation as we would do in theirs. If slavery did not exist, they would no sooner invite it. And if slavery did exist here and now, we would not so quickly give it up. So when the South says the origins of slavery are not their responsibility alone, but ours as well, I acknowledge that fact. When it is said that slavery is as much a problem and a part of the nation's history as it is a Southern heritage, they are correct. The institution exists. It would not be easy to change, and the constitutional obligations abound, and we do not negate any of this. In adherence to its existence and our constitutional obligations, we do not seek to infringe on any of the states. In fact, we know that we have no right to tell the states what they shall do or to disenfranchise them, nor do we have any inclination to. And yet I don't see why not. We cannot still have a gradual emancipation of slavery in certain areas. For instance, in the District of Columbia, we feel the Constitution is on our side. And yet still, we do not abdicate the abolishment of slavery there. Where we see that the Constitution is on our side, we restrain ourselves in deference to the institution and to the nature of the problem. Now, I agree with Judge Douglas. I do not know what I would do, and I cannot blame those in the South for something I do not myself know how to accomplish. My first impulse would be to free all the slaves and ship them back to Liberia, to their native homeland. But on short consideration and reflection, this is obviously impossible. If we were able to transport them in a day, they would surely perish in 10. And we have not the surpluses in shipping or money for which to even entertain such an idea. So what then? Free all the slaves and consider them our equals politically and socially? I'm not of a mind to do this. And even if I were, the mass of white men are not of this mind either. Now, whether this feeling is in accord with justice and sound judgment is not the sole question, if in fact it is any part of the question. When a feeling is universally held, it cannot be safely disregarded. And so it is certain that we cannot just acknowledge them as our equals. And yet, I still believe that certain rights enumerated in the Declaration of Independence, the rights to liberty and life and the pursuit of happiness, well, those rights are entitled to every black man as well as white. And while I agree with Judge Douglas that we are certainly not equal, obviously in color and perhaps in our moral and intellectual endowment, we are equal in every man's due to eat the bread he earns with his hands. And in that case, any man is equal with me and Judge Douglas and anyone else. So I want you to consider this as Judge Douglas gives you his reasons for prolonging slavery and also helping it spread into the other states and territories. And do not be so easily curtailed and misled by his obvious half-truths and misrepresentations of my position. I thank you, and I turn the floor to Judge Douglas.